Today we've got a reading for you about somebody who is hesitating, not quite sure if they have everything figured out that they need to, or maybe even doubting their abilities, especially if this has to do with creative pursuits or a job that is a little bit out of the ordinary. But we have the Starry Observatory and the Fox. This is somebody who is being encouraged to be bold and do something a little bit unpredictable or something that feels like a bit of a risk. It requires them to work on themselves or do something that maybe makes them feel uncomfortable or nervous, but it's something they can't easily dismiss. So I do feel like they're pretty torn on whether or not to go for this. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of, or a lot of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. You can find that in the description box along with more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. We're going to get some additional information from the situations deck. What else do we have? Okay, so this is somebody who is trying to figure out and feels like they don't have a lot of time to do so, trying to figure out if they should pursue somebody that they are very attracted to. So this could be someone who has not yet communicated their interest in you, or this could be somebody who is hoping to come back around after a difficult initial attempt. This could also be somebody that you are dealing with currently and not really sure whether or not it's going to move into that like exclusive relationship territory. So we have trash, discarding, throwing out, Archangel Michael, protection, prevented from harm, divine intervention, and ascension. I think this is somebody who goes from being less than what you're looking for, or a person that you would have felt you were settling for because they weren't really working on themselves or approaching the connection with you in a respectful way. But because they have decided to apply themselves as far as their spiritual growth or personal growth, this person has been going through an ego death or ascension. It's like they're rushing to hopefully not miss the train, even though they started off at a disadvantage, like waking up, realizing your alarm clock didn't go off, but you still have a chance of making the plane, right? Or whatever you're trying to attempt. This is somebody who's rushing, but feels like they have a chance. Hello, USA. Hello, is it Perry or Pari? How are you doing? This is the Pulp Tarot. We've got the Emperor in the reverse, the Six of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. This is somebody who's regained control or balance within their life after things were pretty hectic. What I'm seeing in my mind is somebody who makes an incredible save, or, you know, someone who's just like lobbing the ball over their head and somehow they actually, the basketball actually goes through the hoop, right? So you might be surprised by someone who comes back around and is able to demonstrate that they have actually made quite a lot of progress in their life. Hello, I am. How are you doing? Hello, Raphael. How are you? Hello, Gilbert. What's going on? Hello, AJ. I hope you all are enjoying your weekend. We have the Lovers and the King of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so I know that if I want you to choose me, or if I want to be like your partner, your soulmate, that I needed to address the things that made it difficult for me to be emotionally available. And even though that might have been a steep hill to climb, consider me a mountain goat. I mean, they're right on the edge, right? We've got somebody who is willing to step up their game and address the things that prevented them from loving you the way that they should have been able to. Hello, Kushik, how are you doing? Please make sure that in the live chat you're translating to English first, otherwise I don't know what you're saying. Unless it's in Spanish, that works all right for me. Pari, please be patient. I start the personal questions at about 30 minutes in, with priority to those who tip or donate. Super chat doesn't work. You can also donate memberships to people. For whatever reason, it sounds like sometimes that works when the super chat doesn't. But I do like to do freebies every now and then as well. I just recommend not being too demanding about it. Hello, Lily. How are you doing? Hey, Nat. How's your day? So we have the Page of Wands and the Two of Cups. This person loves you. This person is willing to do some heavy lifting in order to make sure that they don't lose you. So this is saying there's going to be a thoughtful and loving message that comes your way from this person that you may have not heard from for a little bit, or from someone that maybe you expect to still be upset with you. There's a truth that this person has a greater understanding of. They feel wiser now than they did when you got into this argument or had this problem. Or if this is somebody who hasn't had the courage to approach you and confess their feelings, now they're feeling like it's the right time to tell you how they feel or what they're interested in. Hello, Salvador. Hello, Abdul. How are you doing? Thank you. Hello, John. Hello, Q. How are you doing? We have the Devil in the reverse and the Queen of Wands. I'm proud of this person. And maybe for some of you, this reading is you're the one who's been able to turn this around. You see things differently. You may feel like you're much more confident to approach a person you'd like to be in a serious relationship with. But whatever it is, if you're the Queen of Wands / Hermit, or the object of their affection, this is a lot of confidence being earned in the right way through hard work and changing what you need to change as far as your perception. All right, this is the Jack-o'-lantern Tarot. Hey Tarun, I really don't like it when people spam the live chat like that. You are welcome to come back if you can be sparing in your messages, because no one likes to see a whole wall of the same thing over and over again. Okay? Hello, Arissa. How are you doing? Likewise. I hope you're having a good day. Hello. Is it Daward? How are you doing? We have the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands with the Nine of Swords. Still nervous, still concerned that even though I've done all of this work, even if I make these great plans and come towards you with a very honest conversation, there's still this chance that you might not believe me or you might reject me. So understandably so, they're nervous, right? Thank you, Latish. How are you doing? Let me write that down for you. MBBS. And you have an exam. Will you pass it? And another set of exams tomorrow. Will you pass those? So, Latish, I've got those written down for you. And if you are new to the live stream, I start those personal questions at about 30 to 35 minutes in. In other words, I do those after the general reading. If there's something else you need to do, feel free to stop back after that point, or you can enjoy the general reading until then. Hello, Rachel. How's it going? Hello, DJ. All right, so we have the Seven of Cups and the King of Swords with the Ten of Wands. This is someone who's much wiser, much more capable of tuning into their intuition. When they make choices, they feel good about the choices that they've made instead of feeling like it has added to their problems. So we've got a sense of accomplishment. Like, I've been able to do something that maybe I should have done a long time ago, or I feel like I've been able to walk away from things that have been a problem, right? Still looking for that bacon cheeseburger? I hope you get it. Hello, Mohammed. How are you doing? We have the Six of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and the King of Wands in the reverse. I do feel like there is someone that this is saying they've cut off. So they might have had a best friend, or they might have had an ex, someone who was pursuing them, and they've cut this person off because they want to focus on you. You might know about this person, or you might not know about this person, but it's part of them wanting to approach you in the right way and not have any distractions on the side, right? They're doing well, thank you. Hello, Dane. Thank you, Nat. Any message regarding love that Spirit wants you to know? I've got that written down for you. Thank you for the tip. All right, what else do we have? Trying to run away from me, you guys. All right, we have the Page of Wands and another Six of Wands. We had that towards the beginning. And the Queen of Pentacles. All right, so they have been able to walk away from the things that had prevented them from success in their career, or prevented them from communicating in an effective way, being more like their own person. So they've kind of taken stock, right? Who are these individuals that are in my inner circle? What is the impact that they have on my life? And is this something that helps me to be a better person? Are they able to call me out when I'm not acting right? Are they able to hold themselves accountable? So tidying up what had been causing issues in their life makes them feel like now they're at a place where they could actually pursue something with you, and it would be possible for it to be a good thing, right? This is the Prisma Visions Tarot. We have the Gift and the High Priestess, and I'm trying to see if we have another candlelight. This one's not very good. Oh, I think that one is. There you are. Sorry, it's just a little bit dark in here, don't you think? All right, I'll put that one over here. Is that better? Do one more. This one is not as bright though. All right. That helps a little bit, right? Maybe we should put it over here. So the Gift is one of those extra cards above and beyond the 78 that you have in a regular tarot deck. We have themes of epiphany, curiosity, and release. Well, that makes sense because this is somebody who is saying, basically, if I want to be in this connection with somebody that I value, if I want to prioritize this relationship, then I need to be willing to address the obstacles that block that, right? Hello, Star. How are you doing? Hello, Q. Do you? Hello, Kayla. How's your day? What else? We have Death and the Winged Boar in the reverse. If I recall, that was about delusions, stagnation, and ephemera. So this is like, if I don't change, if I don't do this ego death thing or this spiritual awakening, I would lose out on something that is important to me. So, you know, sometimes you have a lot of awareness or clarity around what waits for you down a certain road. It's like you're leaving work and you know if you take your original route, you won't be able to drive past your favorite barbecue place. But if you're willing to add 5 minutes onto your drive, plus whatever the stop at the barbecue place, then you get your favorite barbecue for dinner. This is somebody who's saying, you know what, I'm willing to take the more difficult route. I'm willing to do more work or, you know, put on weights while I'm running that mile because I know that it's going to enable me to be in a happier place or have a better chance of actually being with the person that I want to be with. And that person they consider or they view as the Empress. That doesn't mean that you have to be a woman. This could be talking about your ability to be compassionate and caring towards others. In other words, you might have been a little bit of an inspiration for them to finally realize it's time to do more with my love life, right? Be more accessible and not run away or sabotage relationships. Hello, Ratish. How are you? Hello, Ray. Thank you. Hello, Angel. How's it going? Hello, Rick. So we have the Ten of Wands, the Five of Cups in the reverse, and the Fool in the reverse. So there is someone here who has made this an easier decision. This King of Cups in the reverse, who is coming through now more so as this Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, like I figured out what was wrong. They gained some clarity because of their connection to a person who's not very healed. Sometimes it's about the you don't know what you got till it's gone. Or even, you know, kind of comparing people to each other. I do feel like we have someone who gained an appreciation for what you mean to them because there is no one else like you. Page of Cups and Justice. So the only way that I could potentially have another chance with you, somebody that I view as, you know, the one, is if I step up my game, if I work on myself and I'm better able to communicate or express those feelings and goals, right? Hello, I'm Sempo. How are you doing? Thank you, Rachel. Hello, Maurice. How are you doing? Ratish, I recognize your name. I'm going to encourage you to not use capitalized letters, and please do not repeat your request. I know we've already timed you out before, so please be patient. We still got like 12 minutes or more before personal questions, okay? So we have the King of Pentacles. I love this because we had the Queen of Pentacles come out for them as well. They're able to feel more confident about having that long-term relationship with you because it doesn't seem like, it's only a matter of time before you're going to find out this about me, or you're going to realize that I'm still talking to that person, or that I still have this issue with my family member. It's like, no, I feel like I've actually dealt with the things that tend to come up or be a problem. They feel pretty confident at this point about what they can offer. Hello, Asha. How are you doing? This is the Golden Art Nouveau. We have the Two of Wands in the reverse, the Hermit, and the Four of Pentacles in the reverse with the Devil card. Yeah, there is someone here who has an obsession with the person who is working on themselves for you. This is someone who felt like because they didn't ask this Hermit, Queen of Wands individual to work on themselves, that they would always be able to have this relationship, or that they would win if they were up against you. In other words, you know, I let them get away with anything, or I don't have very many standards here. So, you know, it hasn't really been a problem as far as feeling like I'm asking too much. The thing is, we have someone who grew bored with that, you know. I actually feel like there's a lot of people out there who like routine. There's a lot of people out there who like a little bit of a challenge. Maybe they wouldn't have phrased it that way, but they thought they wanted someone who would be compliant or not difficult, and they ended up missing the way that you approach things. They ended up wanting somebody who would actually call them out for their things that they need to work on, instead of somebody who was just like, okay, okay. We have the Hanged Man, the Six of Pentacles, and the Sun. Enlightenment and a different perspective. Realizing that if you want to be with somebody who is giving and caring and supportive, then you got to be able to offer some of that yourself as well. All right, this is the signs of the times. Hello, Coco. How are you doing? Hello, Moon. Thank you, Rachel. Hello, Kevin. What's going on? Bullseye, focus, number 40, and lightning, disruption. They appreciate that change calls for disruption. It's not easy to quit smoking. It's not easy to end a friendship. It's not easy to quit a job, you know? Maybe sometimes you can make it a little bit less challenging, but when you have significant change, there's always going to be some sort of interruption or thing that you have to kind of anticipate. And this is someone who is saying, that's okay though, because I know exactly what I want to be able to do after I deal with these problems. So it keeps them focused, right? Hello, Shy. How are you doing? Hello, Lightning. What's going on? I'm a Pisces, but nice track. We have Tree, Ancestry, number 42. So there's this individual that is a negative influence, and it's looking more and more like this would be someone in their family. Maybe they're going no contact with this person. Maybe they're just choosing not to follow in their footsteps. I don't have to approach relationships like you do, or I don't have to look at love the way that you do. I don't have to be overly critical or super jealous. This is somebody acknowledging, I am my own person. I know how I want to approach things, and it's looking like I'm capable of changing that, right? I don't have to do it the way that I did before. This is the Romantic Lenormand. I'm glad to hear it, Lightning. What else do we have? Ship, number 3. And Rider, number 1. Wow, okay, this is very bold energy, very, I'm ready. I'm not going to wait around or fall for any excuses or distractions. This is just eager and dedicated energy. I know where I need to go, or I know what I need to say. Hello, Push, how are you doing? Hello, Rosina. We have the Mice and the Anchor. So the decision to work on themselves was easier because they've been forced to acknowledge that if it's a choice between somebody who's a bad influence on their life or is more of a taker than a giver, that they would rather focus their energy or their time towards someone like you, right? this is the situations deck. What else do we... Oh, wait, no. We did that at the beginning. Sorry, guys. We're going to do the Love Oracle instead. What else do we have? Hello, Mike. How are you doing? Thank you. Push, do me a favor, and please don't repeat your messages. Emotional storm, turmoil, unstable, affected, and karma, consequences, cause and effect, debts, spying. Okay, so I think they had to cut off somebody in their family who has been called out in the past for starting arguments or spreading rumors, posting inappropriate things on social media, or even catfishing people. This is somebody who is, they need a hobby. They don't have very much like on their plate, so I feel what they do is try to involve themselves in everybody else's lives, you know? Chasing, pursuit, toxicity, resilience, and bitterness. The person that they've had to cut off, probably someone in their family, has a very bitter perspective or doesn't seem to feel like love is something that can make you happy. This is something that has been rejected by the person that you're involved with. It's like, meh, if I feel that way, then I'm just like kind of closing myself off to possible happiness, right? Past life, deja vu, repeated patterns, karmic lessons. They're learning the lesson that they needed to learn about why they approach relationships the way they do and rejecting that pattern. I know that it causes hurt for me. I know that it sabotages the connection that we have. So I need to address this person who is overly involved or, you know, tries to tell me how to live my life. And I need to be able to approach my love interest in a more mature and emotionally available way. Let's see what we get from the Overthinkers Oracle. Hello, Mel. How are you doing? That's sweet of you. All right, we have, I don't want to be a player no more. And at the bottom it says, I'm ready to commit. We've got, I miss how our relationship used to be. And I wish I had chosen you. So it felt to them like they were obligated to choose this family member, or felt to them like they needed to take a different path than the one that you were on. Now they've changed their mind. Now they're saying, don't go. I've been working on myself. Ready to do better by you. And this is somebody who also wants to tell you the things that maybe they were a little bit too secretive on or felt like they couldn't actually pursue. But now they see you as their soulmate or the relationship that they're fated to have. They don't feel like they would love anybody else the way that they love you. There's just something about you that is different. I think because you've actually changed them. You were the only one to inspire them to do all of this. Ooh. We do have a false twin flame card, so they may have also, like, in addition to having a family member that may have been leading them astray or being overly involved, we may also have somebody that they were connected to romantically that convinced them that they were in a twin flame dynamic when they really weren't. So they needed to let go of that misconception. We have, I'm sorry I broke your heart. And justice. They know that they didn't do right by you in the past, but they're hopeful that they have an opportunity to make things right now. They're going to be communicating and trying to establish with that first message that they really have been working on themselves. And that they're extremely willing to do what they need to in order to get another chance with you. They don't want you to be the one who gets away. Aww. All right, let's see what the Romance Angel Oracle says. What do we think? Do we approve? Soulmate. Okay. Yes, this is your soulmate. Remember, you don't just have one soulmate, okay? You might have platonic soulmates, people who are your best friend because they really get you. But this is somebody who understands you on a different level, and you're being encouraged to make the effort. If this is somebody that you are interested in and they have shown that they have worked on themselves, then go ahead and see what remains for you all. For many of you, this is going to lead to getting engaged or getting married. There are some religious differences here, but I feel like they've closed the gap a little bit on that because of their ego death or their spiritual awakening. So you might find that they're a little bit more interested in subjects that are, you know, a little bit more spiritual or deeper in subject. Hello, is it Mary? How are you doing? All right, let's get to those personal questions. We're going to use the Crow Tarot, and we've got Latish up first and then Nat after that. Latish, the question was, with the MBBS study, will I pass the exam? We have the Hanged Man and the Emperor in the reverse. It does look very likely that you will pass this exam. However, it's important for you to look at things through, how do I say this? There's something that you feel might be the focus, and it may be the focus, but there's something that's just out of view. If you consult your peripheral, I think you understand there's something else that needs to be reviewed or kind of like firmed up before you do this exam. And what about the other exams that are tomorrow? There's an issue with the exam tomorrow, or one of them anyways. I feel like there's information that needs to be reviewed. Like you have a, it's not even that you don't know that it might be on the test, it's that you might have a misconception about it. You might have conflated some concepts or terms. With the Six of Swords in the reverse, this is something that you could address, but as of right now, it would cause you to have a less than favorable score. I do feel like the number 7 is important. And we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. This is something that you may have not retained or picked up while you were studying or listening to a lecture or something along those lines because of a mood problem. So it might have been something that was covered on a day that you were in a bad mood. We have the Two of Cups and the Ten of Swords. I do feel like you're able to figure this out. It may be helpful to consult somebody else who's taking the same exam. With the Ten of Swords, I feel like this is also something that is a more advanced concept, more complicated, perhaps. Hello, Universal. How are you doing? Good luck to you, Latish, and we'll move on to Nat's question. What is the message that Nat needs to hear regarding love life, please? What message does Nat need to hear regarding love? Queen of Swords in the reverse, the Hermit in the reverse, Four of Swords, Ace of Cups in the reverse. There's someone here who is interested or considering approaching you. Maybe they're asking you out on a date. Maybe they're just flirting with you. But this is somebody who I see as being very sarcastic and likes to kind of poke fun at other people. But I also feel like this is someone who's overly sensitive about when people call them out or draw attention to something they need to work on. If this is somebody who expresses interest in a relationship with you or getting to know you better, the advice is to say no, you know, respectfully, but this is someone who is not emotionally mature. We have the Death card the Seven of Swords in the reverse, Knight of Wands in the reverse, and the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, this could be somebody who is more of a like short-term connection on their mind. I feel like you will be able to, like your intuition is going to warn you about this at some point. And it'll make you start thinking, I don't know about that. And then decide to just like focus on yourself, right? Lenny, if I were AI, could I actually greet you? Maybe. No, I'm not AI. My name is Carmen. You're welcome, Nat. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hello, Gar. How are you doing? Let's see. Looks like Universal would like to know about the new person they're going out with. Three of Cups in the reverse. Eight of Cups. Magician in the reverse. He said no for me, dog. Three of Cups in the reverse. This is either somebody who is already talking to somebody else or is not really interested in being loyal or having like, you know, one person that they're talking to. Eight of Cups is talking about walking away. Magician in the reverse. This is somebody who is either like they intentionally come across as helpless so that they get other people to do their things for them, or they end up like trying to manipulate. So I would strongly encourage not this person. You deserve somebody who's a little bit more, it might not be somebody that you know of yet, but this is somebody who's going to approach you. So be cautious. Oh, I think depend on is a pretty strong phrase there. Pass. Thank you, Stephanie. Let me get a different tarot deck for you. What are C's thoughts and feelings after this no contact? For Stephanie, what are C's thoughts and feelings after this no contact? Feeling like it might actually be over. Feeling like there is a shift emotionally. Someone who's made a decision. Is this talking about C? No, this is C feeling like you've actually decided you're over it. You don't want to deal with this anymore. Feeling like there's nothing I can say that would convince you to change your mind. Fool in the reverse. This person feels heartbroken. Betrayed. Like, I can't believe that you would just give up so easily. There's something here about, like, why won't you answer me or respond? So this could be a message sent in the next couple of days or something recently where it's just kind of like, I didn't think it was going to be like done or over with so quickly. We have the Empress and the Page of Pentacles. So I feel like this is saying because you are compassionate or loving, maybe I just need to give it a little bit of time, let you kind of like forget what happened, and then I'll come back again. It's like, I'll let you simmer and then maybe you'll change your mind, right? Hello, Lotus. What's up? Pass, that's probably because most people don't actually need your birth date. Should we see what I pull for pass? What do we have for pass? The Chariot, Queen of Swords in the reverse, Eight of Wands, Five of Swords, Temperance, and the Six of Wands in the reverse. So past, there's somebody here who is, they're the type to cause problems and then scurry away. I don't know if I should say like exactly what I saw, but it was like the type who would like leave a stink bomb in a high school hallway, right? And then run away and giggle. We have somebody here who feels like they can say or do what they want and not have consequences. Again, running away and hiding, right? But there's something here that they have done where they can't hide from the consequences. Temperance and Six of Wands in the reverse. Trying to make it seem like everything is fine or they weren't doing anything or they weren't involved doesn't work for them. Maybe this is in a work environment or somewhere where there's a little bit more observation, but I feel like their attempts to lie or distract what they were actually doing fail. I feel like you will like this. So maybe this is someone who has been not nice to you. We have the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the Eight of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, so basically you're going to witness somebody's true character being exposed to everyone. Somebody who thought that they could be a trickster or cause problems and not get any consequences. But you'll see. You'll have like a front row seat to them getting called out. Thank you for subscribing, sweet. I appreciate it. Hello, Trava. How are you doing? Hello, Sam. What are Ankit's current feelings for Tasneem? Five of Wands, Page of Wands in the reverse, and the King of Cups. This is someone who's trying to ignore the feelings that they have, but the King of Cups indicates there is emotional attachment here. So this could be someone who is falling in love or someone who is trying to ignore that they feel like they might fall in love. Why the Five of Wands? This person's very independent. I feel like this is somebody who expects to always have a negative outlook or outcome from relationships. So it's like, I'm not going to focus on that, you know? Let me get a different tarot deck for you. Thank you for the tip. This is the Meta Muse. Hello, Zubin. We've got what is needed for the next phase or next person in the love life. All right. What do we have for Zubin? What is required? We have the Seven of Cups, Queen of Cups in the reverse, Prince or Knight of Pentacles, and the High Priestess in the reverse. I feel like there's someone here who hasn't captured your attention. It's like they're hiding and right in plain view. So you might be attracted to one person and it blinds you to someone else that they're friends with, or maybe even someone they're related to. The way it's kind of coming through is I have an admiration or an attraction to somebody who is not available. Maybe they're in a relationship. But somebody like a friend or even a sibling, somebody associated to this person I admire, it's like I can't see that that would be a good fit because I'm distracted by the brilliance from the person who's unavailable. So make sure you're being, I guess, maybe more discerning as to who's available. It would be like searching for a sweatshirt online based on the available sizes instead of the design. Because it's like, well, if you don't have my size, then I can't buy you anyway, so I guess I don't really care what you have. This is somebody who is available and I think would be interested in you, but it would be helpful to kind of stop thinking about this other person who isn't available or tone down the physical attraction of it, right? So we have the King of Cups in the reverse, basically saying if there is someone who's distracting you that you know is not a possibility, let go of that and refocus your energy. I like it, Matt. Yeah, exactly. I hope that helps, and thank you. All right, I'm gonna do one more question. So, ooh, you're so welcome. Hey, Michael, that's not what I believe, but you know, you do whatever you want. um, I know it was a while ago, but Rachel made me laugh with her departure comment. Um, mm, mm, mm. Oh, that's the one that you did actually tip. Sammy is asking, has Fatima cheated on Purya? Has Fatima cheated on Purya? Yes. Or is she cheating on him? She's not cheating, but he is. And I think she knows it. Will they get married? I do think that they're going to get married. I don't feel like it's going to be very happy. Someone's going to be very lonely in this connection. Q would like a tarot reading about your feelings for the one you love. We've got the Three of Swords and the Three of Wands in the reverse. So the number 3 could be important. Something happened in March, something happened on the 3rd of the month, or something will. But then we also have the Nine of Swords. You don't know where this person stands. I would guess you're no contact. You may feel like this person is letting go. I feel like there's an overwhelming sense of loss here. But with the Knight of Wands, there's also this sense of like, is there something that could be done to reverse this? Because maybe someone made a choice a little bit too quickly. Wow. Okay, so we do have the Six of Swords and the Tree of Life card. This is unique to the Meta Muse Tarot deck. It's the 79th card, and it talks about ascension. I do feel like there is a possibility for another chapter here, but it requires somebody go through an ego death or some spiritual awakening before that can happen. So even though it may seem kind of painful, the advice here is take some time to yourself, invest in the things that make you happy, work on the things that you can as far as your own healing, and hopefully this person is doing the same. And you might have another opportunity. But there needs to be a change or a shift in terms of mindset, so you don't have the same arguments or the same like friction before, right? All right, I'm gonna leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. Thank you for hyping the video if you're able to, and I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.